it's still an animal that is still being killed unnecessarily. So
It's
why?
tradition again, because I happened to taste tarantulas when I was in Cambodia, and Cambodians eat tarantulas on an everyday basis, and it was an amazing experience for me. I loved it. There couldn't be like a true Hungarian dish that this country is proud of without meat, without it's very, very important in culinary to.
But there's so many delicious mock meats and so many
without,
delicious.
without the tradition and without culture. It's a new way of thinking.
Hey everyone, this is Klaus from Plant Based News. So we've got a priceless European debate today, hosted by Brain Bar, between a restaurant-owning hedonist and a recently turned vegan. Hope you enjoy the video.
But 3 years ago, I went vegetarian, and about 9 months ago, I went completely vegan.
And as the meat eater introduces herself, she talks about the main reasons she's not a vegan.
Thank you. So the culture is a very important thing in this debate, and I completely agree with that. And I don't believe that sustainability equals radicalism, because you shouldn't be radical to leave a smaller footprint. In my part, I am a restaurateur. I work with food. I communicate through food, and I carry on traditions. And I believe that our culture and our tradition is carried on in gastronomy and in culinary, as well as in history books.
So she thinks she's super smart by saying history should not just be in history books, but also food. But the thing with food is there are victims involved. There are sentient beings involved in animal agriculture, right? So when she's talking about tradition over and over again, I would love to ask her the following question. What is the tradition? Is it breeding, confining, and exploiting animals for their meat and byproducts? Or is it gathering around a dinner table with a delicious meal and sharing it with your family and friends? Because if it's the latter, she can literally celebrate the tradition while being proud of evolving and protecting the future of our planet and species. I just don't think she's aware that you can make delicious vegan food yet.
Have you ever killed your own animal and eaten it?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us which animal it was?
It was a chicken. As a person who mostly eats meat in the supermarket, boxed, it's a very intense thing. But it happened, and I believe we all come from our ancestors. We're all predators, we're carnivores. It still happens in nature.
Real carnivores can not only kill and digest raw, unseasoned, and often disease-ridden meat. So I would love to ask her, would she be willing to do that?
I believe that animals were always as they are right now. So I like watching Animal Planet, so like I like watching the predators. I believe it's in our nature. But apart from that, instead of going radical and instead of eliminating the agriculture, why don't we change it? Why don't we see the future in sharing economies, in sharing agriculture? And I believe a shared energy is the future.
A shared energy is the future.
First of all, it takes about 16 pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of meat. So we have a calculation there that does not add up with the fact that you're telling me.
So here the vegan goes into the devastating environmental implications of animal agriculture and then responds to the meat eater's constant reference to veganism as radicalism.
You keep using the word radical, which is something that I obviously take note of, because I do not see anything radical in refusing something that wasn't even yours to begin with. You say that animals have always been the way that they are, which is not true. We have genetically enforced sorts of types of races of animals. They are so dependent upon the presence of humans that they cannot sustain themselves. We have bred cows dairy cows, into producing 10 times more milk than they naturally would, so we can take it. It is extremely painful for them to be alive. We have also bred chickens into laying up to 20 times more eggs than they usually would. It is extremely painful for them to be alive. I do not think there is a moral or cultural argument against that.
It's like I'm the devil now. It's like I feel really like the devil. But I don't believe that there is no in the middle, you know? Like I don't not agree with what you say, because I'm not into like being animals raised like that. But I truly believe that if you know where your food is coming from, if you know the farmer, if you go back to those farmer and consumer connections, then this can be done in a very nice way.
But I suppose she doesn't really go into how you can do it in a nice way. Because just because you know your killer you know the person, the farmer who's about to slaughter you, how does it change the reality for that victim?
Does anyone have a question they'd like? Oh my word, yes.
So the first question is from an agricultural engineer. When I was watching this, I thought, okay, this is going to be a really, really good question. He's going to be a thought leader. It's going to make everybody think about this topic in a whole new way.
Hi, I'm an agriculture engineer. And what you said about chickens and cattle is true. We are breeding them to produce more eggs and more milk. But we are also doing that with wheat and with vegetables and with fruits. It's exactly the same system. So that said, they can also feel pain. Like the smell of freshly cut grass that you can smell is actually a signaling system between the plants to tell them they are being slaughtered.
So the agricultural engineer basically just said plants feel pain. Firstly, plants don't have a central nervous system. They're categorically not sentient. But even if they were, which would obviously be a hypothetical because they're not sentient, even if they were, it would still make sense to eat the plants in the first place. Because as the vegan debater said herself and demonstrated very clearly, the feed to meat conversion ratio of animal agriculture of animals is so inefficient, there are more plant casualties in animal agriculture, and it'll be more efficient to just eat the plants in the first place.
Thank you.
There is a very viable difference between them, because I hear this thing about plants feeling pain all the time, but there's a really significant difference between pain response and effect response. If you ring a doorbell and the doorbell makes a sound, it's not because it knows you're there. It's because it's an effect, it's a response.
I don't know about the feelings of plants, but in Argentina, for example, in the pump.
I'm not going to play it, but she basically goes on to talk about some traditional thing in Argentina. But then she says something really strange.
I just happened to taste one of the best burgers in my life. It's called the Impossible Burger.
Yes.
Yes, which is, I'm sorry, I'm just really have to share this. It's the Impossible Burger, has never seen a piece of meat, and it was amazing. And they could have tricked me into that it was meat.
Does she sound really confused? Maybe like she's trapped in some kind of like state of cognitive dissonance?
Run out of time, unfortunately. Can
No.
we have. Can we get the final
Blimey.
vote? What's the final vote?
Oh.
52 to 48.
That
So
is
first of all,
quite
congratulations.
good. No, thank you.
Congratulations, and thank
This
you.
is priceless. The vegan actually won. And you know the most interesting thing? The room were predominantly non-vegetarian and non-vegan. Check out this clip from the beginning of the video.
Who is not vegetarian or vegan? Okay, well, we have a majority here.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Who do you think won the debate? How effective was the vegan at debating, or was it the non-vegan, the meat eater, that actually lost the debate in her confusion? What do you think? Let me know. Let me know if you like these videos. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.